Yo, it's LJ. I'm back with round two. First of all, I do want to apologize. I know a lot of people are probably like weirded out, like, why does he have a shirt on? Da, da, da. It's kind of hot in my house. So, yes, I don't have a shirt on, and I just got the shower, so I had a long work day. But round two, and I'm ready to explain to y'all the steps. Well, actually, the first step that I took to beat this depression. And a lot of people are probably going to be like, okay, you need to talk more about this. And if that's the case, do so. You know what I'm saying? Just please comment, like, share, because I'm ready to talk about anything y'all want to talk about. Granted, if I don't know too much on the information, I probably won't say much, but I can give you my opinion, and everybody's opinion matters. So, therefore, number two in this ball game, okay? Well, not even number two, number one in this ball game, because number one was just me telling you how I got into depression. Number two, pretty much, I wrote a list down of which one I wanted to touch bases on, but I feel like the most that'll get y'all intrigued right now would be loving yourself. And a lot of people think that loving yourself just comes with, the way you feel about yourself, the way you carry yourself. And honestly, for me, that wasn't really what loving yourself meant. I actually had to do research and try to figure out a lot of my habits, what I used to do, what I don't do now, what I do now, and a lot of the stuff that I feel like I could not shake. And a lot of that was like smoking, drinking, and you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that stuff, like I used to watch porno like crazy, like you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit is really just what you believed was okay. And not, granted, everybody have their own mindset. Everybody can say what's okay and what's not because everybody's opinions matter. There's not really too much fact on earth if everybody has an opinion. Think about that. So now, loving yourself to me was pretty much, to me, you can't love something you don't know. So if you constantly questioning yourself, like, why do I do this? Why can't I control this? Why do I do that? I'm not saying you don't love yourself, but you don't know the history of yourself. You don't know that you've been here before, for one, because that's definitely I don't care what I say, that's definitely true. You've been here before, which is where a lot of your deja vu come from, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. So you can't say you love yourself and not know yourself. You can't sit here and be like, okay, I don't know why relationships don't work for me, but I love myself. I don't know why I keep smoking, but I love myself. I don't know why I keep drinking. I don't know why I keep going out. I don't know why I do this and that and the third. And that's literally because you don't know yourself. Now, when it comes to knowing yourself, it takes time because literally our everything, life does not stop regardless of what we think about and what we feel. Everything is going on in your life, and you got bills and you got this and you got that. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all might have children you got to look after. So once that children come into play, you're not really much thinking about yourself no more. You're thinking about your children, and which is cool, but at the same time you got to think about yourself first, because if your mental is not strong, how do you expect your kids mental to be strong? Because your kids literally see everything you do, hear everything you say. So at the end of the day, we need to go back and retract and learn about ourselves and why we have the habits that we have. It's actually called a paradigm, but I'll get into that more later. But so loving yourself to me is pretty much, you really need to focus on yourself. Like, you need to literally go to your mom, your aunt, your uncle, anybody that was ever in your life. You need to sit down with them and ask them, what did you do around the time of my ages of birth through like 6 or 7? Because that's the main little era between birth and 6 or 7, where the brain is like a sponge. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't retract anything. It takes in everything. So what were you guys doing? The people that was really in your life, what were y'all doing? What were y'all saying? Like the actions that y'all had. What did I see that you feel like I should not have seen? And I did that. Okay, so I went and did that, and I learned a couple things. Um, a lot of it was I used to be a horrible cheater, and that's why I feel like I talked about this in my last YouTube page, my last YouTube channel thing. But I used to be like a horrible cheater. Like I would cheat all the time. Like I was literally like just this biggest cheater. Like people known me. Like I got bashed on like social media for cheating so much, and it literally like drove me to like, okay, why am I doing this? And I didn't understand why I was doing it. I didn't get it. I didn't, I could not cope with it, but it was just happening, and that's just what I was doing. So at the end of the day, I kind of like went to some sources that was around my lifetime, men to be exact, because I never really like knew my dad. Like it was kind of like a whole little miscommunication and miss a whole bunch of, it was miscombobulated, put it pretty much down that way. But I don't really care about that no more. But so I went to my old sources and I asked them like, yo, what type of form of cheating, like what happened like around that time, and like around my ages of what birth to 7, 8, 9, you know what I'm saying, like where my brain was still my brain not functioning, but my brain was still soaking up all this energy and all this nonsense, and a lot of it came from somebody cheating on my mother. And I didn't feel any like tension, or I wasn't feeling mad or like sad or any grief on it, because literally I was young, you know what I mean? I was legit. I was probably like not even like 2 feet tall yet. So it just kind of like, I wasn't worried about what happened. I just wanted to know what happened. You know what I mean? So I went back and did some research and stuff, and ended up finding out that my mom was cheated on while she was going through depression. So it kind of like rung a bell, like ding, like boom, that's it right there. Like you literally cheat when you're depressed. And I honestly believe that's what I was doing. But I was in a relationship for so long that I really didn't really cope with understanding that I was depressed, and that I was actually like doing the stuff that I was doing because it just felt normal to me. Because as a kid, when you grow up and you see stuff that your parents do, or that somebody that grows up, that's growing up with you or taught you how to grow up, you just kind of grab on to whatever that they're doing. And you don't think about it when you get older. You just like do. Because when you're a baby and when you're a kid, you're not thinking about this is wrong, this is right. Definitely if they're not telling you that. They're not saying, oh, I cheated on such and such, you shouldn't be doing this. Oh, I did this, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, but they tell you stuff like, oh, don't spill that cup, you about to spill that cup. Like, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, parents really don't tell you about real life when you're young. And I think that's a lot of the problem of right now, and why we got so much depression and so much anxiety and so much everything, because literally we're not taught this stuff when we're young. We're taught goo goo gaga, you know what I'm saying? Like we're taught like trying to teach us how to walk and how to potty train and stuff like that. We're not really taught this stuff of real life. Like I feel like, and that's what I do with my kids now. Like I don't baby my kids. I don't do all the little stuff like that. Like I rarely buy my kids toys. Like I rather them walk around with a tool or a broom or something. You know what I mean? So you just gotta really like teach your kids what is really going on, and not treat them as babies. And a lot of people might disagree with that, but that's okay. I leave your opinions down below, because I will greatly answer everybody's question, everybody's opinion, and I don't take nobody's opinion for anything. Like I love all the feedback that you guys are gonna give me. But at the end of the day, research. Do your research, because a lot of the shit that we do is not because we want to. It's because we were taught to do that. And you might think it wasn't us being taught, but at the same time, if you break down all the stuff that you learned as a kid, and then break down all the stuff that you didn't try to learn as a kid, but you just happen to have those habits, you're pretty much taught that. Like, so there's no really getting around that. But so the main thing today is pretty much do your research on yourself, not on anybody else but yourself. And the reason I say that is because you gotta kind of like blend in what I'm saying with that, because doing research on somebody else, you don't need to know what their life was about. You don't need to know, you know what I'm saying, what they were doing and this, that, and the third. You need to know what they were doing in your main suction of childhood. Like, you need to know, what did y'all teach me that y'all might not have thought y'all taught me, but y'all were teaching me this at the same time. So a lot of, and the reason that comes into with depression is because literally, if your mom and your dad are constantly talking about depression and we can't pay these bills and we don't have enough money for this and I'm about to go out tonight because I got a little bit of extra money, all that is going into your subconscious as a child. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, because literally everything that you learn from that time becomes a habit. So my mom, like, for instance, my mom, she was literally a drinker all the time, like always drink, always drink, always drink, always drink. So I got into that habit of always drinking, and I never, like, I'm not sad, I'm not depressed, I'm not mad, like, I don't know why I'm drinking so much. And I tell people this all the time, like, if to be honest, I'm still fighting to this day, but I get it though, because if my mom wasn't a drinker, I probably would have never turned into a drinker. You know what I mean? Like, seeing my mom go to the club every night and and I love my mom to death. She's still here to this day, and I know she probably gonna be like, man, fuck you, because you put me on blast, But still, like, I gotta be real raw rap. So if I did not see my mom drinking all the time, I probably wouldn't have been a drinker. Now, granted, I'm a grown-ass adult now, so I'm not about to blame that on her no more. But at the end of the day, people look at people as of what they're doing, what they're doing, what they're doing. They don't look at why you're doing it. They look at what you're doing. And it takes a strong-minded person to figure out why they're doing something. And a lot of that is depression. And that's why I keep coming back to that, because literally, if you hear about it, you see it, you feel it. And as a child, you can feel a lot of the stuff that your parents feel. And if they constantly being depressed and down and sad, and that's what you're going to end up being. And there's no way around it unless you was taught by somebody else not to feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, unless you had like I wouldn't even say a split family. Like, you had a dad that wasn't depressed, a mom that was depressed. Your dad is always happy. Your mom is always depressed. You're still going to get a little bit of that. You're still going to get a little bit of depression, because your mom is the one who had you, for one. And you know what I mean? So that's there ain't no way around that. Like, your mom is literally the carrier of your life. That's why I wear this unk, but that's a different story. But your mom is literally the carrier of your life. So if you don't understand your mom and you don't understand yourself and why you do the things that your mom was doing, then you probably going to be lost for a long time, buddy. And I'll tell you that because I was lost, and I'm only 25, and I just got hip to so much stuff. And it amazes me about how fast I changed my life, because I was dedicated to this. I was dedicated to not being depressed. I was dedicated to going out of my way to find out why I was depressed. I literally spoke to so many different people that happened to be in my life through that little period of time. And once I was a teenager, it was literally, there was no stopping me. I was depressed. I was super depressed. Like, there wasn't no stopping me. And I didn't understand it until I got about 16. That, like, okay, this is what depression is. I'm going through this and this, that, and the third. So at the end of the day, what y'all need to do, well, I'm not saying what y'all need to do, because y'all don't need to do anything. I'm just giving y'all an opinion. Find out what habits you have. Find out your paradigm. Find out what literally changed you to being the person that you are today. Find out why you're doing the habits that you're doing today. Find out why you can't go to sleep without something. Find out why you drink so much. Find out why you trick so much. You know what I mean? Like, find out these little details, because at the end of the day, that's finding yourself. And that's being able to love yourself. And once you get past all of that stuff, and once you understand it and know it, I promise you, you will love yourself way more, because you understand yourself. You cannot love something that you do not understand. And that goes with, like, females for a long way. Like, you can't love a female without understanding her. And whoa, boy, females are so hard to understand, but still, like, you gotta figure it out. You gotta take the time out of your day to actually take a step back and go and look about why I felt this way, why I did this, why I even mentioned this, why I talk about this, why I do anything. 9 times out of 10, it's coming from what you've learned as a child. And so you can't love yourself if you don't know yourself. And that's why I feel like, number one, I wanted to bring into this equation of depression and how to beat it is loving yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you don't love yourself, if you don't understand yourself, you will never be able to make it out. So that's the little quick one for today. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? I'm coming back tomorrow with another one. I'm coming every single day until I run out of stuff. But I'm not going to run out of stuff because I got so much to talk about. You feel me? So, yo, it's LJ. Like, share, and subscribe. I got y'all.